Taurus, hello. This is your reading for 13 till 21 November. It's a love reading. It's a general reading, sun, moon, rising, and ascending. And, if there's any communication problems, you can look at your Mercury. If there's any, even really deep, specific love problems, you can go look at where your Venus is. And if you don't know where those placements are, there's a link down below in the description that says free natal chart, and that shows those things to you. All right, very helpful when you know where they are. So for your 13th to 21 November reading, I am using the Angel Tarot cards. I haven't used them in quite a while. I'm quite excited to be using them for you. So we're going to see what we got for you. Okay, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. For all of you always supporting me, I really want to thank you for that. I know that I've been a little bit scarce, but I'm kind of finding my feet in the new projects that I'm busy with. And so I've got, more time for my readings. I'm never going to do readings if I can't do it for you 100%. I only like to give 100%. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Adrian. I'm an intuitive healer. I practice holistic wellness. And things are rocking. Okay. If you look at my beautiful, beautiful, oh my goodness. If you look at my amazing, not that one want to come out. Okay, this is going to be one of those powerful rocking readings. If you like my incredibly beautiful graphic design, my social media manager, sort of Fundi best friend and social media manager and graphic designer. She does all my thumbnails and all my other things for me, so more than welcome to contact her directly if you want some work done. There's a link down below in the description that says AC Digital Marketing Solutions. Now, let's look at your reading. Okay, okie dokie. Overall energy is number 12, Awakening. Okay, there with Archangel Gabriel, which is obviously, Archangel Gabriel is all sort of about our intuition and our instinct and our gut. And just touching on that, and I'm very inspired to tell you this, so I am. Maybe it's a direct message for some of you. But, when it sometimes comes to intuition and all these type of things, and astral traveling, we really sort of want to, connect with the universe and unlock our third eyes and all these type of things. But first of all, you are always connected to the universe in any case. You are the universe expressed. All right, you are all the possibility of the universe expressed in human form. So you're always connected. And the more we sort of ground, the more we sort of embrace this journey of being human, because this is where you are right now. So many times you want to do all these things. We want to be Atlanteans and starseeds and all these wonderful, fantastic things, which is great, which is fantastic. But remember, we are all of us are already all those things in any case, because we are connected to everything. Everything's connected to us. All right. But when you embrace the human journey, the earth journey, that's when things are working out. And as your overall energy, it says here, look at things from a different perspective, temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. There's such a strong call, if you want to think of it almost like that, with all of us being connected, from the heart of Mother Earth, from the heart of Gaia to your heart. There's such a strong call to just be present right now. It's almost like you don't have to do anything else. Think of it almost like this. This is almost like, just imagine, for example, that it's your birthday, and none of your friends sort of contacted you, and none of those things are happening, and you're kind of feeling a little bit sorry for yourself, and everybody's encouraging to ask you when you're going to go home. Everybody just wants you to go home, and you don't know why they want you to go home. And you're like, I don't want to go home because I don't want to be at home. I don't want to be alone. And meanwhile, they're all basically at your house, kind of like, everything's sort of set up, and they've got like helium balloons, and everything is really great and fantastic. And for some reason, I'm seeing like those really large sort of golden shiny helium balloons, which are quite beautiful. But maybe there's a touch of silver in between here and there. And the only thing you're not doing is not actually going home. And so, the surprise party can't exactly start until you are there. And this is the same sort of invitation that is currently happening with sort of like from the heart of, from the earth to your heart, is to just come home. It's to just center. It's to just settle down. It's almost like saying, remember the focus for this reading is love. And this is almost like saying, like, there's so much that we can show to you. There's so much that we can be revealed to you. There's so much that has been, so divinely, perfectly lined up for you. If you can just be sort of quiet for a little bit of a moment, if you can just actually breathe, all right? There's so much that can actually happen for you right now. And especially for those of you that are maybe feeling very overwhelmed right now, this is like almost like life asking you if you can give us just half a chance, if you can maybe, sort of like, I'm trying to find the right words. If you can just allow us to show to you how we can, sort of even things out for you, how we can level it out for you, you might actually be quite surprised. All right, so this is a stage of not actually doing more, and it's not a stage of doing less. It's a stage of doing nothing. It's a stage of allowing, pertaining to love. All right. Then in your recent past, you got the Magician. So this is sort of when we see and when we like and when we go. So some sort of powerful connection that would have been there, that maybe that you met someone or that you've been with someone, and it's really, really fantastic. It is. Now I feel that for some of you may have met someone and it's really been perfect and ideal and all those type of things, but it kind of felt like the timing was off. So you would be like, this would be so perfect if only it wasn't for this and this and this and this and that. All right. Now, two things here. One, when life sort of offers you something, there is always the possibility that you can have it, because if you don't sort of get it within your peripheral vision, that in itself is sort of like very much 99% of what you want right there already. And then sometimes what happens is we get something coming across our way and we see it and we like it so much, and now we want to start to almost like sort of like laser focus in on it, to get it. And then when we do that so much, the message that we're really giving out to life is that you don't actually have it. And so you're like, oh, I really like this person, I really want to be with them, and you make little plans like this and little plans like that, and you sort of like look at their sort of like tarot readings and what are they doing at the moment. Which, by the way, I'd like to remind you, I would be very cautious about cross-watching. If there is one thing in this world, especially when it comes to love, that can really mess with your mind, it's cross-watching. Okay? Look at your own chart. Look at your own placements. All right? Look at that free natal chart down below so you get your links so you know where your placements are. When you are in balance, your life will be in balance. When we start looking at other people's readings, we kind of, we move away from our own energy. We really mess ourselves up sometimes, okay? Just to be mindful. Now, I know that some of you are still going to do it, but I'm just letting you all know. All right. Second thing that might have happened here is, and I get quite a strong feeling on that one, is where you would get something that people sometimes refer to as a false twin flame. Now, what that really is that just imagine that you fall in love with somebody, you see somebody, you fall for the person, and they're really, really amazing. Okay. Now, first of all, remember that the only reason or the only way that you could have come across them is by one way or the other. There had to have been some sort of energetic connection. There's some sort of agreement. Now, remember, all sort of have our life plans, and times when people are going to come in and stuff like that. But it's called a life plan for a very specific reason. It doesn't have to go according to plan. It's called a life plan, but there are very sort of subcategories within this life plan. It's like, I don't know if you all remember that back in the day you used to get those sort of books that you would read it and you get to the end of the chapter and they ask you what are you going to do right now. It's almost like a computer game basically. And then you say, okay, I'm going to go through the door. Okay, go to page 50. I'm not going to go through the door. Okay, go to page 129. That sort of thing. I'm going to stay in the passage. Okay, go to page 53. That sort of thing. Now, when it comes to what I'm seeing over here, it is almost like, and I get it very twofold, so it seems to be like two very different set of circumstances going on here. For some of you, it would be that you met a person and it was wonderful and it was great, but you didn't expect it to progress as fast as it did. So that's sort of getting you a little bit of like a boom, you know, incoming, 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 you know, like boing, boing, boing. Bowing, bowing, bowing. But then for some of you, this has probably been the greatest disappointment of your life. You couldn't believe that this would actually happen, and that brings me back to that whole sort of twin flame thing, the false twin flame thing. So what's happening over here is that a lot of times, just before we meet that really incredible love of our lives, you know, that perfect sort of, you know, lit for your pot type of vibe, if you want to call it that, there are a lot of lessons that we sometimes need to learn before we get there, you know. And then you get somebody that comes in that appears to be really ideal for you at this particular point in time. You somehow give your heart, maybe this is the kind of person you would normally go for, and, you know, whereas you could always be in control, this person sort of running circles around you, you don't even know what's going on in your own life, all right? And a lot of times what we do is, because there's so much emotion involved, we stay there. We don't move on from there. When in fact, you know, and this is how soulmates come in to help one another. And this is actually how twin flames come in to help one another sometimes. Because remember, your twin flame is sort of like a split of you. And, you know, when a twin flame comes in, it's not always this very beautiful sort of like, you know, I don't know, orchid in bloom in spring, and, you know, and the sun's coming out and the bees are going like bzzz, you know, it's not always like that. A lot of times it's not like that, because your twin flame is it's a very strong, very powerful mirror reflection of yourself, and they're going to show you the things about yourself that are holding you back. And this is our shadow sides. These are the things that we quite often not even aware of. And so in that sense, a lot of times your actual twin flame come in a lot to prepare you for when you go to that next step, which could be with them or with somebody else. All right. So for some of you, you've really gone through like the scorching fires over here, okay? But this is where it brought you to the Dreamer, which is the Fool, with Archangel Metatron, which is the angel about new beginnings, about new starts. Metatron is said to help you a lot with art, new creations, helping souls sort of pass from the, you know, from the energy matrix, the complete energy matrix, into human form. So with babies. And it says the leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. This is basically a portal for love. That is, it hasn't opened for you, it is open. All right, this is sort of where you're kind of like in the tunnel at the moment. In actual fact, speaking about babies being born, you know, so you may or may not know that for a baby to be born is quite an overwhelming experience, like a natural birth, you know, because you're sort of like in this channel of transportation, you know, between one sort of world, because we're inside a womb, that's your world, that's your universe, towards more, because as energy beings that we are constantly expanding more and more and more. So I feel for many of you, you know, you're kind of very much towards the end of the tunnel. You can see the good light, you can see the potential, but this is almost like when you get towards the end, sometimes our fear kicks in a little bit and we sort of get overwhelmed by things. We get scared, we get uncertain, we get trippy, we're like, oh my goodness, now what, now what, now what, now what? But I'm not even going to stay there. I'm going to clarify for you, but I'm going to show you what is coming towards you, the Queen of Water, which is the Queen of Cups. And it says, relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition and care for yourself and for others. All right. So this is a confirmation. Even if you look at, so let's look at our overall energy first. There was sort of like that call for like to become centered. All right. Because think about it like this. Just imagine that you are trying to land, you know, a helicopter on a helipad on a ship. Now, it doesn't matter how huge the ship is. When it's a storm and the ship is doing all its, you know, floppity things, that helicopter is not going to be able to land. It's going to have to wait for that storm to pass. No matter how good a pilot you are, how good a sailor you are, you're not really going to be able to land that helicopter safely on that ship. All right. So at the moment, especially pertaining to love, for many of you, it's almost like trying to land that sort of helicopter on that ship, and you're like, but it must land because there's a helipad. All right. So there's like a call for you to sort of quiet your soul. All right. Calm your soul so the landing can take place. So the actual the coincidence, the meet, those things can take place. All right. So with the Magician, which is all about new potential, the universe has heard your call. All right. You may quite misunderstand what was happening there in the past, where you might feel that maybe life was against you. Life's like, no. You're kind of just misunderstanding it. So where you are at the moment, you're very much in this portal, and towards the end of the portal. So you're about to go through. All right. You're about to experience, to become. Okay. And if you look at the same one with the portal over there with the Queen of Water, it's almost like a portal over there as well. All right, so it's busy coming through for you. Okay, let's clarify. So we're going to clarify this overall energy for you first. Okay, so one card went flying to the side, Three of Swords. Okay, again, and asking you for the, okay, maybe these cards just want to come out. Who are they? Let's see. These 4 cards just sort of wanted to come out. Really positive things that can come out here. Also, I was very much reminded now as I was looking at this one card. I've got the Emperor. There's this one particular deck. What is it called? Oracle something. It's by Colette Baron-Reid, and it's got like this red at the back of the cards, which is a lot about hope and positivity and those type of things. And I don't actually have it, but I got sort of like that flash of that deck for you, so if that means anything for any of you. But Three of Swords confirming there that, you know, also reminding you that the past didn't actually kill you. Like, you know, that you may have gone through some difficult periods, but they didn't really break you. Like, you're still here, you know, you're still surviving. So it's almost like saying don't underestimate yourself. All right. And then these cards had all just decided to come out. I'm just going to show them to you. So there's the Three of Cups. So whilst you might be looking at reasons why things are a little bit, you know, not working at the moment, the universe is already sort of celebrating on your behalf. You know, the angels are throwing a party. Just so you're aware of it. 8 of Wands there because they can see the stability, because remember, as energy beings, and this is something very important to also know, that as energy beings, we don't always see things right away the way that they are. The human sort of manifestation that we experience here, it's sort of like an after effect of everything, because remember, we are energetic beings. Our real life takes place in energy, and everything we currently have is a result of what happened in the past. So the present is a reflection of the past, and what's happening right now is creating the future. So the universal realm, they can already see all the beautiful things that are happening over here, and they're actively celebrating. All right. Then you've got the Emperor there, which is about stability, which is beautiful. So there's a beautiful, wonderful sort of stability coming into your life, you know, especially with love, with emotions, within yourself, the relationship that you have with yourself, because that also determines the relationship that we have with others. So there's a beautiful stability there that is busy coming into your life. So if things seem a little bit like rough landing at the moment, there's a beautiful stability that's coming in there. And I feel that there with 5 of Wands, it's almost like you're fighting something. And I don't really feel that that is necessary at the moment, because you might sort of have the wrong end of the stick over here. Okay. Let's look at that Magician there in your recent past. Ooh, they want to speak. They want to speak. They want to speak. Let's see what they've got to say. I almost feel like whatever's coming, you know, whatever's sort of like unfolding in your life for romance, for love, it's so huge that, I mean, even these cards, because they're relatively small cards, they're the Radiant Rider-Waite cards, they felt so big in my hands, you know, and to me, there's normally an indication there's a lot coming towards you. Now, some cards fell, I'm going to show you the first one that fell on my lap, which is the Empress. And then I'm just going to see what we've got here on the floor. And remember, sorry, maybe I shouldn't speak too much. Sorry. But the Empress, the High Priestess, my apologies, the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is like that, it's like that oracle that always just speaks the truth. All right? And the truth will set you free. So, Two of Swords, we've seen that you know, that you were having some stuck things over there. Queen of Cups, we've heard the desires of your heart. Also, what happens sometimes, and I feel that this may have happened for some of you, is that sometimes we meet somebody and it seems so perfect and it seems so fantastic and it seems so divine, and we really set our hearts on it, and then nothing comes from that. You know, something happens and then it just doesn't kind of come to fruition, and it really makes us very sad. But sometimes also our soulmates and our twin flames, you know, they come in and they help us to sort of raise our vibration so that we can quickly move through a stage that might sometimes take us longer. So they often come, you know, when we're very challenged, maybe we're very tired, we're very sad, we're very overwhelmed. And so you make a quick sudden connection, but that connection, what it does, it also, like, you know, it sort of skyrockets your vibration right up, and you sort of align very quickly, and things actually start to work out very much faster than you might have initially done. All right? Page of Wands, and that I feel is what happened there for you, and Ace of Swords. Ace of Wands. Now, what I feel is that because the pages are more sort of like an epiphany, it's more sort of like a mind realization. So you sort of place your mind on someone or something, but what it did is it shot you up to that vibration that was required for this divine intervention to come through you. So you may have recently met someone and now you're a little bit confused, like, you know, do I actually do this? Don't I actually do this? You know, maybe they remind you so much about the other person. So it's a little bit scary to take that sort of chance sometimes. But I feel that it's very safe for you to trust. We're looking at the current energy at the moment, and we've got, so the current energy, remember, is the Dreamer, it's the Fool. We've got a Knight of Swords. Good connection there for you. Good connection. Also, I feel this is something that you'd like to go forward. This is maybe, you know, especially for those of you that are seeing somebody at the moment, you might really feel that you're ready to take that next step, that you're ready to make that commitment. You know, maybe you've sort of been playing the crowd there for a little bit of a while, and just confirmed there for you by Knight of Wands as well. You don't really want to do that anymore. Okay, so Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, and then the Seven of Cups, and this I should draw you one more card. You're kind of beginning to see how some of your ways are not exactly serving you in the best possible way. You've got the World and we've got the Sun. This is like a double confirmation. All right, so some of you are very ready to sort of do life in a very different way to how you would have done it before, and you know, I feel that it took that previous sort of discontent that you had to actually bring you to where you are right now. So the past, actually, even though it might not have been pleasurable, it actually set you up for the situation where you find yourself right now, where you can actually make that choice. Okay? And I'm going to draw you just one card for the energy that's coming towards you, if only one card's going to come out, because now they're doing the thing where they're jumping all over the place again. Alright, one card came out, and it's the Knight of Pentacles. Couple of knights over there. Alright. Very prosperous connection. Very prosperous. I feel that some of you might be, you know, it's interesting. I pick up, even though you're like an earth sign, there's more of a sort of like a free, you know, there's not so much of an air earth energy there, which is more like an air sort of energy, even like a little touch of fire. And the person you come and get towards you, it's almost like you may have been a little bit sort of out of sorts with yourself, and they're sort of bringing you back towards yourself. Okay, let's just finish off for you with an oracle card. And if that resonates, you're more than welcome to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I always appreciate your comments. Let's see what we got for you for 13-21 November. That's way too many cards. What message do we have, please, for Taurus for 13 till 21 November from the Angel Prayers Oracle deck? Okay, so there's two that popped around. I saw this one first, even though it was at the bottom, so maybe something you didn't actually quite expect. Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace. All right. It says, share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Okay. Horus, cosmic gateway. There's that gateway again. Remember, we've been speaking about gateways. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. I could not have said that better myself. Till next time. Bye.